The Sahara stretches across the northern edge of Africa like a golden sea of shifting sands, seemingly eternal and untouched. From a distance, it appears lifeless, a barren wasteland under the scorching sun, yet beneath its rolling dunes lies a secret that has baffled scientists and historians alike. Whispers of a vanished civilization echo through the desert, hidden beneath layers of sand, as if the earth itself conspired to erase its existence from memory. Some say this civilization once thrived in a time when the Sahara was fertile and rivers carved life-giving paths across the land. Today, all that remains are scattered fragments, mysterious ruins, inexplicable artifacts, and symbols etched into stone that defy conventional understanding. Scientific explanations often dismiss these findings as anomalies, the work of nature rather than human hands, yet local legends tell a different story. Nomadic tribes speak of grand cities swallowed by the sands, of knowledge and technology lost overnight, and of a society that vanished without warning. These stories, passed down through generations, hint at truths that mainstream history has overlooked or deemed impossible. The contrast between hard science and myth sets the stage for a journey into the unknown. What if our textbooks are missing entire chapters of human history? What if the Sahara hides a civilization whose sophistication rivals that of known ancient societies, yet left barely a trace? As we explore the dunes, the ruins, and the symbols beneath them, the line between fact and mystery begins to blur. The journey ahead is not just a quest for evidence, it is a confrontation with the enigma of a people erased by time, leaving only whispers of their existence buried beneath the Sahara's relentless sands. This introduction invites the audience to step into the desert, where every grain of sand may conceal secrets that science cannot yet explain, igniting curiosity and setting the tone for the mysteries that follow. Long before the Sahara became the arid expanse we know today, it was a land of life and abundance. Paleoclimatic studies reveal that thousands of years ago, the desert was a mosaic of rivers, lakes, and fertile plains, capable of sustaining complex human communities. Vegetation stretched across vast regions, providing food and shelter for animals and humans alike. Fossilized remains of fish, crocodiles, and hippos, discovered deep within the sands, testify to a time when water flowed freely, carving networks of rivers that connected distant settlements. This was an era when the Sahara was not a barrier but a cradle of life, a land capable of supporting thriving societies whose stories have largely been erased by the relentless march of time. Archaeological evidence from the region, including pottery shards, stone tools, and remnants of dwellings, points to an advanced understanding of agriculture and settlement planning. These findings suggest that human communities adapted skillfully to the environment, creating sustainable societies in what would later become one of the harshest deserts on Earth. Yet, despite the abundance of material evidence, the historical record remains frustratingly incomplete. Many discoveries have been dismissed as anomalies, fragments out of context, or simply impossible within the established timeline of human civilization. Contrasting scientific records with local oral traditions reveals intriguing discrepancies. Nomadic tribes recount legends of lost kingdoms, grand cities, and subterranean chambers filled with treasures and knowledge. These stories describe a civilization capable of feats that modern archaeology struggles to explain: irrigation systems that harnessed water in ways thought impossible, intricate urban planning, and structures aligned with celestial patterns. While scientists caution against taking these accounts literally, the recurring motifs across different tribes and regions suggest there may be kernels of truth hidden beneath the veil of myth. The Sahara's history, therefore, exists at the intersection of fact and speculation. Geological and archaeological data provide glimpses of life in a fertile desert, while myths hint at a civilization of sophistication and mystery. Understanding this context is crucial to grasp the magnitude of what might have been lost. The stage is set. Beneath the modern desert lies evidence of human ingenuity, of a society that flourished and then disappeared. As we delve deeper into the archaeological record, the mysteries grow more compelling, challenging our assumptions about human history and raising the haunting question: what forces, natural or otherwise, could have erased such a civilization so completely? This historical backdrop immerses the audience in a Sahara very different from the one seen today, laying the foundation for the mysteries, discoveries, and enigmas that will unfold in the sections to come. Beneath the endless waves of golden sand, archaeologists have unearthed fragments of a world that seems almost impossible. In scattered locations across the Sahara, stone structures rise from the earth, partially buried and weathered by millennia. Some resemble walls of fortified cities, while others hint at ceremonial sites, their purpose lost to time. These ruins, often discovered in remote and inhospitable regions, challenge conventional timelines. According to mainstream archaeology, such complex construction should not exist in these locations at the period suggested by preliminary dating techniques, yet the evidence is undeniable. Excavations have revealed artifacts that add further intrigue. Pottery decorated with intricate motifs, tools crafted with remarkable precision, and remnants of what appear to be advanced irrigation channels hint at a society far more sophisticated than previously imagined. In some sites, stone carvings and statues have been found, their style unique and unlike any known contemporaneous civilization. Carbon dating of some organic material suggests ages that conflict with the accepted chronology of human development in North Africa. Every discovery fuels debate. Is this evidence of a forgotten civilization, or are scientists misinterpreting natural formations and scattered relics? Among the most compelling findings are subterranean structures, some extending deep beneath the sand in labyrinthine tunnels. These hidden complexes suggest a culture capable of large-scale engineering and architectural planning. The tunnels are often aligned with astronomical markers, hinting at knowledge of celestial cycles, while other chambers appear to have been used for rituals or storage of precious items. Mainstream scholars remain cautious, attributing these structures to natural erosion or later human activity, yet the scale and precision of the work suggest intentional design. Local nomads have long known about these sites, though they rarely speak of them openly. Folklore describes cities swallowed by sand, hidden chambers filled with gold, and tunnels that stretch for miles beneath the desert. Archaeologists have sometimes dismissed these stories as legend, but repeated discoveries in locations indicated by oral accounts suggest these tales may contain fragments of truth. Each new find blurs the line between myth and reality, forcing researchers to reconsider what is possible within human history. Controversial artifacts further complicate the story. Some objects bear symbols or inscriptions that do not match any known writing system. Others exhibit craftsmanship that seems advanced for the era in which they were found, from intricately carved stone vessels to tools designed with precision beyond what current models would predict. These items fuel speculation that this civilization may have possessed knowledge lost to history, technology, engineering, or even a form of communication we have yet to decode. The archaeological discoveries of the Sahara are more than isolated curiosities, they form a pattern that cannot be ignored. From buried cities and ceremonial sites to enigmatic symbols and artifacts, the evidence points to a civilization that thrived, innovated, and vanished without leaving a clear trace in the historical record. Every excavation, every shard of pottery, and every stone carving raises more questions than answers, pulling historians and adventurers alike into the mystery. As we continue to explore these sites, the Sahara reveals itself not as a barren wasteland, but as a silent witness to a forgotten chapter of human history, one that challenges science and invites us to wonder what secrets still lie buried beneath the shifting sands. Scattered across the Sahara, etched into stone and rock faces, lie symbols that defy explanation. Unlike the writing systems of Egypt or Mesopotamia, these markings are intricate, abstract, and enigmatic. Some appear to be pictographs, representations of celestial bodies, animals, or geometric patterns, while others suggest a form of code, a language that has long been forgotten. These symbols have been discovered in isolated rock shelters, buried ruins, and even along dry riverbeds, hinting at a civilization that sought to communicate ideas far beyond their time. Scholars and cryptographers have struggled to decipher their meaning. Traditional linguistics offers few clues, these signs do not match any known alphabet or script. Some researchers propose that they represent a proto-writing system, a precursor to more organized forms of communication that would later appear elsewhere. Others suggest a symbolic language used exclusively for rituals or record-keeping within the community. The repetition of certain patterns across vast distances hints at a shared cultural or religious significance, implying that the civilization may have been more connected and sophisticated than previously imagined. Contrasting scientific interpretation with local oral traditions adds further intrigue. Nomadic tribes recount tales of a language of the ancients, a code used to preserve knowledge that could not be spoken aloud. These stories speak of messages carved into stone to be discovered only by those deemed worthy or knowledgeable enough to understand them. Could these symbols represent instructions, warnings, or wisdom deliberately hidden from outsiders? The line between myth and reality becomes increasingly blurred as archaeologists encounter new sites where symbols recur, sometimes alongside architectural features suggesting ceremonial or sacred purposes. The discovery of these inscriptions also raises questions about the civilization's technological and intellectual capabilities. Some carvings are remarkably precise, implying advanced tools or techniques that allowed for detailed stone work in an unforgiving desert environment. Other symbols appear to record astronomical observations, mapping the movement of the sun, moon, or stars, suggesting knowledge of celestial cycles that rivaled that of more advanced, contemporary civilizations. If these interpretations are accurate, the Sahara's lost society may have possessed an understanding of the natural and cosmic world far earlier than previously acknowledged. Each symbol, each mysterious marking, serves as a fragment of a puzzle that science has yet to solve. Are these remnants of a language long lost, a spiritual code, or perhaps a record of events that conventional history cannot account for? Their existence challenges established timelines, inviting speculation about forgotten knowledge and cultural achievements erased by time. As we explore these symbols, the Sahara transforms from a silent desert into a cryptic library, offering glimpses into the minds of a civilization that vanished, leaving behind only the faint echoes of its intelligence and creativity. Through these mysterious markings, the audience begins to sense the depth of what has been lost, a culture that encoded its wisdom in stone, daring future generations to uncover its secrets. The story of these symbols deepens the mystery, bridging the gap between archaeology and legend, and compelling us to continue searching beneath the desert sands for answers that science cannot yet explain. Amid the ruins and symbols of the Sahara, evidence emerges that this vanished civilization may have possessed technology far ahead of its era. Stone constructions exhibit precision that challenges conventional understanding, with massive blocks perfectly aligned and interlocked without the use of modern tools. Some structures appear to have been designed with an understanding of mechanical principles and engineering methods that should not have been possible given the tools available at the time. Water channels, reservoirs, and irrigation systems reveal knowledge of hydraulics and resource management that would astonish even contemporary engineers. These findings raise profound questions. How could a civilization buried beneath shifting sands develop such sophisticated methods in isolation? Scholars debate whether these achievements arose independently or were influenced by a lost knowledge network stretching across ancient continents. Some theories suggest that travelers or migrants could have carried advanced techniques, but others argue the evidence points to a society capable of innovation on its own, mastering both its environment and technology in ways long forgotten by history. One striking example is the network of underground channels discovered near certain ruins. Some passages are carefully sloped to direct water from distant sources, forming a complex irrigation system that would have supported agriculture in an arid climate. The engineering required to achieve this feat implies a deep understanding of hydraulics, surveying, and long-term planning. In some cases, the channels remain intact today, testifying to the durability and ingenuity of their design. Such technological accomplishments suggest that this civilization may have had knowledge rivaling that of Egypt or Mesopotamia, yet left almost no trace in the historical record. Artifacts also point to remarkable craftsmanship. Tools and objects, from finely carved stone vessels to metalwork of uncertain origin, display precision and technique that modern researchers find difficult to replicate without advanced methods. Some items suggest a knowledge of metallurgy or material science that predates known discoveries elsewhere. These findings blur the line between science and legend, as some researchers speculate that this civilization may have possessed secrets intentionally lost or concealed over millennia. The juxtaposition of scientific evidence and oral tradition adds another layer of intrigue. Local legends describe machines, devices, or knowledge of the ancients, capable of extraordinary feats, from moving massive stones to harnessing the forces of nature. While skeptics dismiss these as myth, the consistency of these stories across regions lends weight to the idea that some kernel of truth survives in legend, pointing to a civilization whose technological achievements may never be fully understood. As we examine these remnants, the Sahara reveals itself not merely as a backdrop for human activity, but as a laboratory of ancient ingenuity. The technological mastery of this vanished society challenges our assumptions, raising the tantalizing possibility that lost knowledge once flourished beneath the desert sun. Each discovery serves as a reminder that history, as recorded, may only tell a fraction of the story, and that the Sahara still holds secrets that science has yet to uncover. Long before archaeologists arrived with their tools and cameras, the Sahara's secrets lived in the stories of those who traversed its endless sands. Nomadic tribes have passed down tales for generations, recounting the existence of cities that once thrived under the desert sun, now buried and hidden from mortal eyes. These oral traditions speak of a civilization so advanced that it could harness the land and stars alike, yet vanished almost overnight, leaving behind only whispers of its greatness. Many of these legends describe cataclysmic events, a sudden flood, an endless drought, or a wrathful deity that swallowed entire cities. Other stories recount subterranean chambers filled with knowledge, treasures, or sacred objects, protected by enigmatic forces or secret codes. The repetition of these motifs across different regions hints at a shared memory, suggesting that these tales may preserve fragments of historical truth, even if wrapped in myth. Contrasting these legends with scientific perspectives creates tension and mystery. Skeptics argue that oral traditions are prone to exaggeration, distortion, and invention over time, while proponents suggest they could hold kernels of truth overlooked by conventional archaeology. Some tribes maintain that the desert itself remembers, and that certain landmarks act as markers for hidden ruins. Travelers who heed these stories sometimes stumble upon archaeological sites that align uncannily with the oral narratives, lending credibility to the idea that myth and reality are intertwined in ways science has yet to fully comprehend. The legends also speak to the culture and values of this lost civilization. Tales of rulers, priests, or engineers hint at sophisticated governance and knowledge systems. Stories of celestial observatories or mysterious rituals suggest an understanding of astronomy, mathematics, and spirituality that has left few tangible traces. These oral histories offer a glimpse into how the people might have lived, their priorities, and their ingenuity, bridging the gap between scattered artifacts and a complete picture of society. By listening to the voices of those who have inhabited the desert for centuries, we gain a narrative layer that complements archaeological evidence. The Sahara is not just a landscape of sand and stone, it is a living archive of memory and imagination. In this section, the audience is invited to see the desert through the eyes of those who have always known its secrets, heightening the sense of mystery and drawing a line between legend and what science has yet to explain. The question of how an entire civilization could vanish beneath the Sahara has long perplexed historians, archaeologists, and climatologists alike. The evidence suggests that this society did not merely fade away over centuries but may have faced sudden, catastrophic events that erased its presence almost entirely. Scientific studies point to dramatic climatic shifts in the region, once fertile plains turning to arid desert, rivers drying up, and rainfall patterns shifting unpredictably. A prolonged drought, lasting decades or even centuries, could have devastated agriculture, forced mass migrations, and ultimately led to the collapse of complex social structures. Geological records support these theories. Sediment layers reveal periods of intense aridity punctuated by sudden floods, while pollen analysis indicates rapid ecological change. Such environmental upheaval could have created conditions inhospitable to human life, leaving once thriving settlements to be slowly buried by wind-blown sands. Yet, while science provides plausible explanations, it cannot account for every anomaly. Some ruins and artifacts appear untouched by the ravages of time, preserved with a precision that defies natural processes, suggesting forces beyond ordinary climatic events may have been at play. Cosmic events are another tantalizing possibility. Some researchers speculate that meteor impacts, cometary fragments, or other celestial phenomena could have triggered sudden environmental disasters. Legends from nomadic tribes speak of fire from the sky or the land shaking, descriptions that, while mythological in tone, intriguingly align with scenarios of cosmic catastrophes. If such an event occurred, it could explain both the sudden disappearance of a civilization and the seeming inconsistency of the archaeological record, some sites buried, others mysteriously intact, leaving only tantalizing clues for modern explorers. This section also examines the debate between gradual decline versus sudden annihilation. Traditional archaeological models favor slow societal collapse due to environmental stress or resource depletion. However, the concentration of ruins, the uniform burial under sand, and the abrupt end of material culture hint at a rapid event rather than a drawn-out decline. This tension between gradualism and catastrophe creates a narrative ripe for suspense, compelling the audience to question which scenario is closer to the truth. Moreover, the combination of natural and possibly cosmic forces paints a picture of a civilization caught in a perfect storm. The Sahara may have once been a paradise, suddenly transformed into a desert through events beyond human control. The contrast between a flourishing society and its sudden erasure underscores the fragility of human achievement in the face of nature's or the cosmos' immense power. As the dunes shift, the evidence remains buried, tantalizing, and elusive. Whether caused by environmental change, cosmic impact, or a combination of factors, the disappearance of this civilization continues to confound experts. This section immerses the audience in both the scientific possibilities and the mythic interpretations, leaving them suspended between fact and legend, questioning how an entire society could vanish without a trace, hidden forever beneath the relentless sands of the Sahara. Despite decades of research, modern science continues to struggle with the mysteries of the Sahara's vanished civilization. Excavation and analysis are hindered by the harsh environment, where shifting sands can swallow entire ruins in a matter of years. Archaeologists face extreme heat, limited water, and vast, inaccessible terrain, making comprehensive surveys nearly impossible. Many sites remain undiscovered, and those that have been located are often only partially excavated. The desert itself acts as both protector and eraser, preserving evidence in some places while obliterating it in others. Another significant challenge lies in dating the artifacts and structures accurately. Conventional techniques, such as carbon dating or stratigraphic analysis, often yield conflicting results. Organic materials are scarce in the arid conditions, and some stone constructions show where that makes it difficult to determine their original age. In many cases, artifacts appear far older or more advanced than the accepted timelines of human development, forcing scientists to question whether current methods are sufficient or if the Sahara's unique environment has skewed the data. Interpretation is equally complex. Some researchers dismiss anomalies as natural formations, coincidences, or misidentified artifacts, while others argue that these remnants point to a civilization of remarkable sophistication. Controversial discoveries, such as advanced irrigation systems, enigmatic symbols, and subterranean structures, challenge mainstream historical narratives and invite skepticism. The scientific community remains divided, balancing rigorous evidence against tantalizing hints of extraordinary achievements. Technological limitations also hinder exploration. Remote sensing and satellite imagery have provided breakthroughs, revealing previously hidden structures beneath the sand, but even these tools cannot fully reconstruct the scope of the civilization. Many discoveries remain partially obscured, leaving researchers to infer their purpose and significance. Ground-based exploration is slow and labor-intensive, often yielding fragments rather than complete sites, which complicates efforts to build a cohesive understanding of the society. Finally, the Sahara's vanished civilization sits at the intersection of archaeology, climatology, and myth. Scholars must navigate the tension between oral traditions, ancient legends, and scientific evidence. While myths may exaggerate or distort, they often contain kernels of truth that guide modern exploration. Ignoring these narratives risks overlooking clues, yet relying too heavily on them threatens scientific rigor. These challenges underscore the difficulty of reconstructing a civilization nearly erased by time and nature. Every discovery opens new questions, and each unanswered mystery deepens the allure of the Sahara's secrets. Modern science, despite its sophistication, is forced to confront its limitations, recognizing that the desert may hold truths that conventional methods cannot yet explain. The audience is left to ponder the tantalizing possibility that a civilization of extraordinary capability once thrived here, now hidden just beneath the sand, waiting for the right tools and insight to reveal its full story. The Sahara's vanished civilization may not have existed in isolation. Emerging evidence suggests potential connections with other ancient societies, hinting at a network of cultural exchange, trade, or shared knowledge. Artifacts discovered in the desert show stylistic similarities to objects found in distant regions, raising the possibility that this lost civilization interacted with, or even influenced, other emerging cultures. From decorative motifs to technological innovations, subtle echoes of their achievements may be visible across Africa, the Middle East, and even parts of Europe. Trade routes, both terrestrial and along now dry riverbeds, could have facilitated the movement of goods, ideas, and knowledge. Ancient tools, exotic materials, and symbolic artifacts hint at a society engaged in exchanges beyond its immediate environment. Some researchers propose that this civilization may have been a hub of innovation, passing on techniques or concepts that would later appear in more well-documented societies such as Egypt or Mesopotamia. If true, the Sahara may have been a crucible of human ingenuity, influencing distant civilizations while remaining hidden beneath the sands. Architectural parallels add further intrigue. Some desert structures share alignment, design principles, and construction techniques reminiscent of distant monuments. Scholars debate whether these similarities are coincidental or indicative of a shared understanding of mathematics, astronomy, or engineering. The possibility of a forgotten influence challenges the notion that advanced knowledge emerged independently only in certain, well-known, regions. Instead, it suggests that human civilization may have been far more interconnected than traditional timelines allow. Oral traditions and legends support this theory of global influence. Stories from desert tribes reference travelers, emissaries, or merchants who carried knowledge across vast distances. These narratives, when combined with material evidence, imply that the vanished civilization may have left subtle imprints on neighboring cultures, shaping architecture, technology, or spiritual practices without leaving overt historical records. The Sahara, once thought of as a barrier, may have functioned as a conduit for knowledge and exchange. The implications are staggering. If the Sahara's lost society influenced other civilizations, it challenges established historical models and prompts a re-evaluation of how culture, technology, and ideas spread in the ancient world. Every discovery, from shared symbols to architectural echoes, suggests that human history is richer and more complex than textbooks reveal. This hidden influence transforms the narrative from one of disappearance to one of enduring impact, suggesting that even a vanished civilization can leave traces that ripple across continents and millennia. Exploring these global connections deepens the mystery, inviting the audience to see the Sahara not merely as a desert of desolation but as a silent witness to a forgotten network of innovation, culture, and influence. The vanished civilization may be gone, but its echoes persist, subtly shaping human history in ways science has only begun to uncover. As the journey through the Sahara comes to a close, the magnitude of the mystery becomes undeniable. Beneath the golden dunes, evidence of a vanished civilization persists, hidden ruins, enigmatic symbols, sophisticated technologies, and oral traditions that refuse to fade. Each discovery challenges our understanding of human history, revealing a society that thrived in ways science struggles to explain, only to vanish almost without a trace. The contrast between the harsh desert we see today and the fertile, thriving land of the past underscores the dramatic forces, environmental, cosmic, or otherwise, that may have shaped this civilization's fate. The ruins, some partially buried and others preserved with uncanny precision, speak of advanced architecture and engineering. Water channels and irrigation systems demonstrate ingenuity, while subterranean tunnels hint at ceremonial or protective functions. Artifacts, tools, and symbolic markings suggest intellectual sophistication, yet many of these discoveries remain only partially understood. Scientists and historians are left with fragments, pieces of a puzzle that refuses to form a complete picture. The Sahara itself seems to guard its secrets, revealing some clues while burying others under shifting sands, leaving us to wonder what has been lost forever. Legends and oral traditions add a layer of human depth to the mystery. Stories of cities swallowed overnight, treasures hidden beneath stone, and knowledge encoded in symbols invite the imagination to fill in the gaps left by the archaeological record. While skeptics caution against taking these tales literally, repeated consistencies across tribes and regions suggest that myths may preserve kernels of truth. In this intersection of fact and legend, the Sahara becomes not only a physical landscape but a repository of memory, imagination, and lost knowledge. Theories of climatic catastrophe, cosmic events, or sudden societal collapse further intensify the intrigue. Scientific evidence points to severe environmental shifts, while folklore hints at extraordinary, almost supernatural occurrences. Perhaps it was a combination of forces, nature and chance, that erased this civilization, leaving traces tantalizingly incomplete. This tension between possibility and certainty creates a sense of suspense, leaving audiences suspended between skepticism and wonder, compelled to consider the extraordinary within the realm of the possible. Global connections suggest that even in disappearance, the Sahara's civilization may have influenced distant societies. Shared architectural principles, motifs, and artifacts hint at a network of knowledge and culture that transcended the desert. The impact of this lost society may still ripple through time, visible only to those who look closely at anomalies in human history. Its legacy is subtle yet profound, reminding us that history is not a fixed record but a mosaic of interconnected events, discoveries, and ideas. Ultimately, the vanished civilization beneath the Sahara remains one of the great unsolved mysteries of our world. The sands conceal more than just ruins, they hold questions about human ingenuity, resilience, and the fragility of societies facing forces beyond their control. As the desert shifts with the wind, new discoveries await, ready to challenge assumptions, inspire curiosity, and ignite the imagination. The Sahara continues to whisper its secrets, a silent testament to a civilization that once existed and a reminder that science, while powerful, cannot yet fully explain all that lies beneath the sands. The story ends not with resolution but with reflection. What has been lost, and what might still be uncovered? Each grain of sand may conceal answers, waiting for the next generation of explorers, archaeologists, and dreamers to uncover the truth. The mystery endures, as eternal and shifting as the Sahara itself.